Hello, and welcome to Pisces Moon Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Kate Leonard, and I'm excited to explore the stars with you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the week of June 7th through the 13th, but more important than that, welcome to the 100th episode of Pisces Moon Astrology podcast. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe you're here, and here we are all together, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming along for the ride. Thank you for liking, sharing, leaving ratings and reviews, and putting the podcast up in your social media and all of that stuff. Wow, that's all I can say. Just thank you. So, this will be the last week that the special is running. If you want 10% off on any of my services, go to PiscesMoonAstrology.com. You can see what I offer and what the normal prices are. Then all you have to do is share the podcast on your social media. Go to my website, hit contact. That'll take you to an email, and just show me a screenshot or whatever you need to do so that I can see where you posted. And then, we'll get you scheduled. And this is the best special I've run in a while. So yay for that. I'd love to work with all of you. I couldn't have planned the 100th episode for the podcast better. This week, we are going to talk about the Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Cancer. Venus is the lesser benefic. Jupiter is the greater benefic. These are the two most blessed planets happening in nurturing Cancer. And I get to talk about that brilliant, beautiful, loving vibe for the 100th episode. I am so stoked. And I promise you, I didn't even plan it that way. I really did not. When I realized how it was going to fall, oh my goodness, I was so excited. Anyway, let's get into what this all means. Right from Sunday, the first day of the week, we've got the Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Cancer. All right, this is the two benefic planets in the sign of the nurturer, in the sign of emotional warmth. Cancer is sometimes called the mommy sign. As you all know, I truly hate that. But there's a reason for it, right? Because it's nurturing. It's the spiritual womb, in a sense, that place where all is possible and all is nurtured. And so I love this a lot. The two benefic planets, Venus, you know what Venus is, goddess of love and union, bringing people together, beauty, art, money, all the good stuff. What's Jupiter? The one that expands and makes bigger and makes more. Also the guru planet, so very spiritual. So we've got Venus, all the good stuff, being expanded and blessed by Jupiter. Yo, this is so much, and I cannot wait to get into the sign by sign for each of you. But before I do, now, what I'm about to tell you doesn't change the blessings of Jupiter and Venus. Venus is all the good stuff. Jupiter makes it bigger, better, more wonderful, right? More blessed. That doesn't change, no matter what else is going on in the sky. However, no aspect is acting alone. So the other thing happening here is on the 9th. Now, this is an important day. The Jupiter-Venus conjunction is exact on the 9th, but in the same sign is Mercury. So also in Cancer, we have Mercury, and on the 9th, Mercury is squaring Saturn. What is that? These are limiting thoughts, limited plans, feeling like you're hitting a wall on some of your ideas, or in communication with others, sort of feeling like, you're talking to the wall kind of thing. Think of Saturn as boundaries, structure, all of that sort of thing, and imagine talking to those boundaries, okay? And not in a good way, because it's a square, so it's tense, all right? So especially on the 9th, when this Venus-Jupiter thing is exact, we also have that square. And yeah, I think more than one thing is going to be going on. That's what's happening. Be on the lookout for it. Now, earlier when we start the week and Venus is already close enough to Jupiter to call it a conjunction, we don't have that square as perfect. So that'll be kind of free and clear good. Then we get the Mercury square to Saturn. So just be a little bit aware of that. Now, the other thing that I have to tell you, Mercury's just coming in and doing some stuff. As good as the Venus-Jupiter conjunction is, on the 12th, he goes into his shadow. He's going to be in the pre-retrograde shadow. That means a lot of what is happening during this period of time is going to go through that retrograde, redo, rethink, replan, rewrite, all of that stuff. Now, is that bad? No, of course not, right? Often, our most genius creative ideas or most genius intellectual thoughts, whatever it is, most inspired conversations, sometimes, it's just normal to think that we would revise, right? I don't think no contracts just get written rough draft and then signed, right? People always have people review them, reword, that's Mercury retrograde. People always have them reviewed, then they do all the tweaks, then they put the contract out for signature. Same with works of art and all the other things. So just know that whatever is going on this week, it's also going to become part of the Mercury retrograde story. So just be aware of that, and it's all okay. Remember, the other things happening this week don't change the brilliance of the Venus-Jupiter conjunction. They just add more texture to the story. Okay, now before I go into the sign by sign, and that's what I want to get to because this is so important and so beautiful this week, but I just want to remind you because sometimes we reduce Venus to only love, and she is most certainly that. She is the goddess of love, and that's all kinds of love for a partner, romantic love, passionate love. She alone doesn't really have the passion, but nevertheless, and I have to say, this conjunction is close enough to making a sextile to Mars that I think the passion's going to be there for a lot of people. Anywho, Venus is a lot of things, y'all. She is art, money, beauty. She's women, sisters, friends. So, think big when we're thinking Venus. Now, we're going to get to the sign by sign. I want you to listen for your rising sign. That's who you are. If you don't know your rising sign, listen to the sun sign. If you're born during the day, listen to the moon sign if you're born at night. And to get the most comprehensive information, listen to all three because they'll all apply in some ways to your life. Okay, let's get into this. And we start with Aries. So, Aries, this is happening in your 4th house of home and family. This is loving vibes in the home. I mean, this is just beautiful. This is really nurturing family and all of that kind of thing. But it's also redecorating, making the home more beautiful, making your home feel like a loving environment. Does that make sense? So it's not just that the vibe is there, y'all love each other and whatever, but you want to bring in the aesthetic that also just kind of reflects and supports that. I love it. With Jupiter there, this is also a time that you may be deciding to expand your home in some way or move to a bigger home, definitely could be that. I will say, for some of you, this could be about expanding your family. Okay, so I don't know what that means for you. That could literally mean, like having your Venus's sisters. Maybe somebody's sister is coming over to stay with you or live with you for a while, whatever. But there are other ways to extend family, and in the mommy sign, you get what I'm saying? I don't know, for some of you, okay? Taurus, this is happening in your third house of local community and communication and writing. So this is a genius time with Mercury in the house. You writers, come on. This is your time. Writers, content creators, marketing people who, want to get even more creative, all of that kind of stuff. Oh boy, howdy, this is for you, especially if you're writing about mommy issues, literally writing for a parents magazine or something like that. But also if you're communicating, writing, producing content around anything really that has to do with spirituality, that's Jupiter. Venus is beauty. So all you beauty influencers out there, but also this is expanding the positive role you play in your community. Okay, so this is making friends with the neighbors, yeah, I don't know what that means, but it's community involvement, bringing people together, starting a club, starting a neighborhood beautification project, anything like that. I love it. I love it a lot. All right, for Gemini, this is happening in your second house of money, and Venus is money, and Jupiter is expansion. You feel me? Oh yeah, this is a time when you could really be getting new ideas and stuff. Mercury's there, right? About how to expand your net worth, really that. But it will be through some kind of means that has to do with like nurturing a project or bringing in the right people so that, in your business or whatever it is, you've got the right team there and you're all, getting rich together, that kind of thing. And remember, Gemini, Jupiter rules your 10th house of career. So I am just saying this is a time to get bigger and bolder with your ideas and start thinking about, start writing up your contracts, your proposals, whatever that is, because Mercury's there. But do remember that things are going to need to be tweaked and redone during the Mercury retrograde, but I love it. Okay, Cancer, this is you. This is really about just growing your self-love. This is about nurturing yourself because of a deep sense of self-love, self-worth. Oh my gosh, it gives me goosebumps, Cancer, to even think about what this is doing. This is all about you loving you and becoming the bigger, better version of yourself, right? Like really growing because of your own understanding of how freaking beautiful you are and just bringing that out to the world, right? This is also, a lot of you are going to do glow ups. Are we still saying that? I don't know. I'm not on social media anymore. And so I don't know what we're saying, but if we're saying that, a lot of you are going to be doing glow ups. And the other thing is you may find that you are just falling in love with somebody, right? Like love is in you. So you may find that somebody's got a crush on you or that you finally have to acknowledge the crush you have on someone else. Yeah. Yeah. But mostly I think it's going to be spiritual growth. That's Jupiter, right? Spiritual growth and self-love. And I think that's going to shine out of you. I love it. Okay. Got to move on though. Leo, this is happening in your 12th house of psychology, your mental health. It's also the secret place or the alone place. It's behind the scenes. So, are you working on a writing project, an art project, any old kind of project? Venus also rules your 10th house. So, this could have to do with career. Mercury's there and rules your 5th. So a creative project, creative career, you do you, but it's in there somewhere. But this is also about addressing mental health issues through self-love. This could be about really taking time for yourself to grow spiritually. But I promise you, you'll get to it better. You'll feel the vibe. You'll grab that energy best if you take time alone. Also, listen to your dreams because you're going to be getting some downloads. All right. That's the other thing. Sleep and dreaming is also 12th house, but take some time alone. Go in nature, especially go by water. Okay. This is really beautiful. It could be very, very healing, but you could also produce some amazing, whatever it is you work on behind the scenes. Like you're writing the book of poetry that you will then launch. Do you get what I'm saying? All right. So moving on to Virgo. Virgo, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. This is happening in your 11th house of friends, group identity. This is your tribe. Venus rules friends, right? So, and Mercury's there and Mercury socializes. So this is kind of the party hardy week for you. I mean, this is really getting together with your tribe and just you all nurturing each other and sharing your lives together. Sharing your lives together. If you're involved in spiritual groups, art groups, any of those kind of things. And of course, parent groups, mommy stuff. And of course, that's mother figures as well. Y'all know I mean that, right? Anyway, getting together with your groups and just drinking in the joy of life together. And really growing, like spiritually growing because of the communion with your tribe. You guys, this transit is just too much. All right, Libra, you are a Venus-ruled sign. Oh, you know what? I forgot to say that about Taurus back there. So it's especially important, Taurus, because you're Venus-ruled. Libra, you are a Venus-ruled sign. This is happening in your 10th house of career. So really, if you want to be self-employed, this is a really good time to get on that. At least start figuring it out, making the connections, doing whatever you've got to do, that kind of thing, because you are in the 10th house. But this is about expanding your career, really joining forces with the right people, right? Like bringing together the right team, whether that's your company that you're bringing in people to work with you, or whether that's, a project you're working on at the company where you work, whatever that is. This is about really bringing in like-minded people, sharing the ideas, and making something bigger and better than you would have made had you been alone. I like it. I like it a lot. And remember, Venus is money, so big money could come out of this. All right. Oh, and if you're not a career person, for stay-at-home parents, that is your career, this would apply to you. And if you are not in the work environment because you're retired or pre-working age or whatever, then this would have to do with like your public-facing self. So who you are out in public, okay? All right, Scorpio, this is happening in your 9th house of foreign travel and cultures, publishing, higher education, and spirituality. When you've got the guru planet in the house of spirituality, a lot of you are going to be expanding spiritually somehow, some way. With Mercury there, and it's the house of publishing, you very well could be like writing about spiritual matters. You could be producing some kind of content, webinars, those kind of thing, if you happen to work in the land of the woo-woo, right? But the other thing is, this is just, Mercury is also education. You may be going back to school, especially if you're looking at things like spiritual kinds of topics or art kinds of things, design, beauty, any of those sorts of things. But this could also just be that you find your people and you decide you're going to take some time traveling. So whatever it is for you, it's pretty exciting. And yeah, I love it. Also, anyone trying to get published, this is a good time to do it because you've got the two benefics and Mercury. Okay. All right. For Sagittarius, and this is in your 8th house, Sag, of joint finances. So this is a great time, that whole Venus money, bringing people together. This is a good time to find investors or to decide who you want to invest in. All of that kind of stuff is excellent right now. But the other thing the 8th house is fear and trauma. So deep healing is possible here. And I would think it would happen through either spiritual healing, because we've got Jupiter there, or sort of traditional talk therapy, and then think combinations of that, like hypnotherapy, which is both woo-woo and traditional talk. But it's a time when true healing can come through self-love, self-nurturing, and being drawn to the right healing modalities and healers. It's actually kind of beautiful. But I think a lot of people are going to be finding investors. When I say that, remember, it's things like also grants. Were you planning on applying for a grant? All of that kind of stuff, joint money. Okay, Capricorn. What can I say, Capricorn? Love is in the air. This is the 7th house of primary relationships, expanding love. What do I got to say? Relationships are going to deepen. If you're already in one, you may be taking it to that next level. If you're not married or not living together or whatever the next level would be for you, I think you're going to be making plans to do that. If you're not in a relationship, oh my gosh, you have the two blessed planets there, so are you gonna be in a relationship? Oh yeah, I think so. I think you are. And for you guys, Mars, sexual passion, is in your 5th house of what? Sex. Okay, so we see what's going on here, yeah? The other thing is, whatever is going on for you in this relationship, communication is everything. Communication is everything. So open to communication, say the words, listen, open up. It's there. Oh, so good, right? I know I just made a lot of Capricorn people happy. Okay, Aquarius. This is happening in your 6th house of day-to-day work. So how you structure the work you do, not what is your job, but how do you do your job? So this could be bringing new ideas about comfort and beauty into your day-to-day work so that you feel more nurtured and supported while you're working. Does that make sense? But the other thing the 6th house is physical health. This is bringing love, bringing nurturing to your body. Now be careful. I will give you guys one warning here. Jupiter expands things. So be careful that what you're bringing, and Venus is sugar. That would also be true for Cancers because, and I didn't say that up there. So Cancer, if you're still listening, be a little careful with the sugar cravings and stuff. You could gain weight. I'm just letting you know. All right. So yes, be a little careful, Aquarius, of sugar cravings, carb cravings, those kind of things. But really what this is about is you getting healthier because you make this commitment to love yourself. I love myself enough that I am going to be my best, healthiest, strongest self. And I'm going to do what it takes. I've got Mercury there thinking of ideas, right? What is my diet? What is my exercise plan? For you guys, things that have to do with flow because of Cancer. So yoga and swimming and dancing, Tai Chi, all of those sort of flowing kinds of things, keep those in mind because a lot of you are going to be revising your health stuff in a really beautiful way. All right, and Pisces. Ooh, I love this for you a lot, Pisces. This is your 5th house of sex. Okay, so you could be having some loving good times during this time. But more than that, this is the house of creativity. So whether if you're into making a baby right now, this could be a time for that. But for creativity in all other ways, like you want to live more creatively, or you actually want to do a creative project, art, writing. You writers, Pisces who are writers, Mercury's there too, yeah? But all kinds of arts, acting, all of it, anything creative. And again, just living creatively. This is just, I don't know what to say. There's almost nothing else to say except it's super blessed. Think big and think about bringing elements together that maybe you didn't think about before. Like I was actually talking to a friend of mine who's an artist the other day, and we were talking about bringing writing and visual art together. That kind of bringing together the elements, Cancer loves that because it's water, and Venus loves to bring things together. So think about how you might want to bring something together with something else in your creative process. I don't know what that looks like, but I'll bet you do. All right, you guys. Wow, right? Wow, that's all I'm going to say. It's a big week. It's a beautiful week. We've got some hard astrology this year. So it's really wonderful to be able to say like, yeah, this is fun. This is fun. I do want to say one last thing about a general thing besides thank you, thank you, thank you. This was the 100th episode and I got to talk about Venus and Jupiter. Oh my goodness. Anyway, there is a possibility that not for next week, but for the week after, I may miss a week because I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to try not to, but it's possible. All right, that's all I've got. You know how it goes. Go out and seize the energies of the stars. This is my wish for you always, and this week, honestly, more than ever. I'll see you on the other end. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.